I see myself as a business advisor, obviously given the kind of experience I've had in the telecom industry, especially at leadership levels. So I'm a business advisor, I'm a leadership mentor. In Africa today, we must accept that, actions from the regulator and government are the biggest risk to any business. It's bigger than the risk of market actions because we're all trained to deal with the competition, but we're not well equipped. Today's leaders are not well equipped to deal with the other issues in the external environment, namely government and regulatory issues. Companies and businesses need to have a strategy of how to manage their own success. It's not enough for you to grow the business commercially. You must act inherent in the business strategy is how do you manage that success? And the question is, how do we now develop the right kind of skills in leadership? Broad-mindedness, understanding context, understanding the environment, understanding the economics, understanding the culture, understanding how the company will fit in the business of in the whole country, in the context of what is happening in the development of the country, and how do they contribute? Because if anyhow you look at it, businesses can only thrive in societies that grow, in economies that grow. So businesses also have a role to play in that context. I think it's very clear that if you look across Africa, there's a lot of positive movements taking place. Governments are becoming more accountable. Citizens are now beginning to ask for change. And in the midst of that, there's going to be a lot more expectations on companies. And business leaders need to live up to that. So I think that's really where the gap is. And I think what you're doing in African Leadership University is actually very interesting, because trying to create Africa-centric leaders is very critical. I think it's a big gap that we need to fill. I would capture it in one word: presence. Yeah. In getting to certain positions on leadership, what it means is obviously you are not doing a lot of the work yourself. It means your decisions have a lot more impact on the organization and on the larger group, depending on the role you play. If you're a CEO, that's even much more significant. It means you affect the lives of a lot of people because people now look up to you. You now become a role model. It now becomes your responsibility to cultivate more role models across the organization. So when you take all that into account, you have to have presence.